this. I originally went on Randy W. Horton's broadcast this morning, and I was amongst some really nice souls this morning. We're going to talk about a few spiritual things this morning because it is Sunday. The show is every morning, Monday to Friday, 6:30 to 7:30. Sunday is iffy, and I'll tell you why, because I sometimes have to look after the dog. So, good morning, Yasmin. Yasmin, would you like to come up? I've never talked to you directly, and I would. And thank you so much for supporting me. I really, really appreciate it. Let's see if I can find you here. There you are. Okay. I got you. I got you there. So you can come up if you want, and I'll invite Fraser. I don't really want to steal Randy's guest. That's not very nice, but all right. Oh, that's a really good picture of Megan. I like that. Okay. Ground control to Major Tom. Oh, that's nice. I appreciate the invite, Michael. I'm just setting for bed. Okay, well, I don't know what time it is there for you. I haven't slept as of yet. Yeah, a lot of people don't sleep right now. And I think a lot of them are very oh, look at that. There he is. There he is. Oh, well, what's Randy going to say when you're gone?
No, I did say I was going, so but I need to really go. Wake me up before you go. It sounds right.
Wake me up before you go. I don't wanna ever go solo. Yeah. Wake me up before you go.
Yeah. Oh, stretching.
Oh, it's important to have grunting sounds and stretching sounds in the morning. Here we go. We'll light you up. A ray of light. So listen, I need, because this is a spiritual show, I need you to channel your inner guru. Your inner guru. Yeah. So let's talk about right now what you're grateful for, the things that light you up, the things you're hopeful for. You know, is that giving you a runway? You know, besides songs by Wham, wake me up before you go. Fraser don't want to fly so low.
Right. I'm just grateful for another day, and grateful for what I still have. People are losing a lot during the current situation. I suppose you're grateful for what you have, and you still have breath in your lungs.
Yes. You know, it's funny you say that, because when I tune into that, I'm thinking people don't realize the people that end up on the ventilators, 20% survive. 20%. That is a crappy percentage.
Exactly.
And if you do survive, you have forever damage to your lungs.
I think eventually you might, well, maybe depending on how your diet is as well, that can be it's a lot of food. If you have a really decent, healthy eating plan, you could probably find that your certain foods your body can heal through time as your body's more intelligent than you realize.
Yeah, I would agree. And part of the reason I started going on the diet is and drinking. Like, do you juice at all? Do you know what this is? Is this?
What? It's like mango or something.
It's actually carrot. It's got ginger in it. And I'm telling you, when I drink this,
yeah,
I feel the goodness in it. So what happened there when you almost blew into Jiffy Pop land? There, you were losing your.
I was trying not to have any innuendos, and I was trying to keep it clean.
Okay.
I couldn't
His
start
daughter
laughing.
was there. You're trying. See, that's good. You actually showed restraint. Well done.
Yeah, no, No, but on diet wise, I've been on a keto. I just changed my lifestyle to keto eating since in the best part of 3 years, which is good for you. Is a lot really good because
Tell me about
it's
that. Tell me about that. What does that
keto is
entail?
keto is basically you're becoming more fat adapted rather than sugar adapted because a lot of us are eating. You don't realize how much sugar is in a lot of things these days. So high sugar content, and you're addicted to sugar. Your body, so when you become fat adapted, you stop eating bread, pasta, rice. You don't drink. I never. I'm not a drinker anyway, alcohol, but people who drink beer, it's like liquid bread. So anything high carb intake. So low. I went on a low carb, not no carb,
Mhm.
but just a low carb, high fat. So it's high good fat. So you're eating good animal fat. You eat meat, eat your broccoli, cauliflower, some cherry tomatoes, for example, cabbage, red cabbage. Eat your meat, so you become fat adapted. So you're fueled on fat rather than sugar. So even a lot of fruit that you eat is high fructose, like bananas, oranges, apples, carrot. A lot of vegetables that are grown below ground are not good, but more above ground are better for you. Uh, so if you start doing that, you eat the fat, so you feel full when you're eating. So when you don't you technically I only have about 2 meals. I have about 2 meals a day. So I basically have my breakfast, which is Greek yogurt with some red berries. Usually I have eggs, and that's me until later on. And because you're not eating the sugar, you're not the sugar will. It's easy to eat sugar, and that's why people during an office day, for example, you think having fresh orange juice or some toast in the morning with marmalade or something on it, and you think that's a healthy breakfast. I have like fresh coffee, which is good either with full fat milk because it's good fat. But you think this is a good breakfast, and they have fresh orange juice at the same time, which is more high in sugar. And then they go to work. Then at lunchtime they're hungry. They have like a sandwich, or they'll have a packet of chips or whatever, and they'll have that kind of thing. And that's why they feel sluggish. They tend to feel sluggish during the in the afternoon or tired because that's the sugar in them. That's the sugar they spike. They go down, and
Yes.
that's what it is. So if it's actually a lot of it is training weaning your way off the sugar and literally low sugar and more eating good fat, and you'll find that you'll feel your skin improves, your teeth improve because you're not eating all this high sugary food that you think is normal. Is actually so you just stick to water, fresh coffee, green, just
What?
normal tea, green tea, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So the one thing I want to address today, and people don't know this, is that if you're in a state of panic all the time, you could still eat the greatest foods in the world, but you won't get the right amount of rest. Your system will be in a state of shock all the time, and you won't be able to simulate your foods right. So until you get your mindset correct, diets are good. Don't get me wrong. Like I've lost, I don't know, about 20 pounds, but my diet's wild. But I'm very in tune with myself. So I've stayed off meat. I'm doing kind of like a potato, broccoli, carrot,
Mm-hmm.
juice, and then when I'm really jonesing for meat, I have like a tuna sandwich. When I'm like,
You still are you still eating bread though?
yeah, but I'm not drinking like I did before,
See if
and
you
I get a
ditch the
lot of
bread.
and I'm not doing dairy like I did.
See if you ditch the bread, you'll find that you'll
Yes.
probably drop weight quicker because bread has got. You don't realize there's almost in a loaf of bread. There's
Hmm.
up to about 9 teaspoons of sugar in bread. There's quite a
Yeah.
lot of high. Bread is high sugar and it's not good for you.
Well, see,
If
the
you
thing
ditch,
with me, I've always felt I wasn't sweet enough, and if I don't get that sugar, you
if
know,
that's the you're actually probably fine. On a serious note, as we get older, I mean, if you ditch I found it just if you tried it for a week, if you did a keto lifestyle
Fish,
for a week,
are you calling me old? Is that what you're
no, but
doing?
I'm old. I'm about to say I'm old,
Older,
older.
old. Say it with me.
Uh,
Older.
older than me, or maybe you're
Elder.
not old.
Did you just say
Elder.
elder?
How old are you? How old are you, Michael? Serious question.
Mentally, 5.
Well,
5 mentally.
physical. Besides,
Physical, 95. 95 for
besides,
sure. For sure. All the stuff I did to my body over the years.
you can't be that old. You look you probably what in your 50s. I'm
I
guessing.
am 58.
58.
58
Well,
and
you look well for 58. Well, you look well for 58. You
58,
don't
I'm
look.
still
You
here.
never,
Yeah, on
never
point.
thought.
Look at that, on point.
Oh, I thought you thought you were early. Looking at you, I think you're early 50s because you've got more hair than me, which is not hard. So,
Yeah, well, you know what's weird? When I was in my 30s, I
mhm.
looked like I was in my 50s.
Oh dear, Grumskin. Obviously, too
Because
much winter.
my life was, I was crazy overweight. I wasn't kind to myself,
Right,
and, my thoughts were garbage. So,
right, okay.
um, but since I've been in a better state of mind, I find my skin is
Mhm.
better, and, doing the juice stuff is wonderful.
Cool.
But for me, it's more about the spiritual connection. So when I stay off the meat, I'm more in tune with my gifts. And
Mhm.
when I do things that are alive, when I eat foods that are alive and not cook the hell out of them, and I
Yeah.
eat juices or drink juices that are, you know, fresh from the vine, I wish. But um, so I want to ask you a couple things if it's okay. So right
Sure.
now,
I've got.
if you had the ability to just clean, let's say that you were like a computer, okay, and your mind was a hard drive, and I could wipe that hard drive, right? What story do you tell yourself every day that you wish you didn't tell yourself? Think about that for a sec. Before you answer it, think about it. Good morning, fam. Good
What's
morning, fam. Like toast on jam. Hello there, Heavenly Dew. I'm going to invite her up too. Very intelligent woman, by the way. Anybody who would
mm,
like someone who is nice to follow, kind soul, morally
uh,
grounded.
what would I not tell myself? I don't know. Actually, it's
Think
not
about
a
that. Think about before you say anything. Really think about that.
tough
What would
question.
you like to, what story do you tell yourself that you would like to stop telling yourself? If I could wipe your hard drive and if you, because that's what we do. They're just stories, right? We
Yeah.
tell ourselves stories. And a lot of times we live in the past and we
Yes.
carry the luggage of the past, right?
Yes.
All the
Correct. I do.
pains, all the suffering, all the misery, stories like I'm not good enough, like the things I used to say to myself in my head. Oh my Lord, I had a teacher once who she said, Michael, you're a beam of light, but you say horrible things to yourself. And she was super intuitive and she repeated verbatim what I was saying in the
Mhm.
same tone in my head. And I was like, and it made me feel so good that she felt that I had something to give. And I was maybe, this was about 20 years ago. And I had almost given up all hope. I was in the pursuit of money. That was my religion. Show
Mhm.
me the money.
Mhm.
And go ahead.
I think
I'm
about.
waiting for you. I'm waiting for that answer. I was trying to give you, what do they go? Doom, 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 doom,
I
doom.
think to tell myself that things, even though looking at the now, I would say things are going to get better and just keep plodding on through. That's the main thing.
You didn't answer my question.
But that's the only thing I can think of. That's
No,
the
but you didn't. Okay,
okay. Well, it's different. It's
but
quite. I don't know.
I'm
It
going to
sounds
give
familiar.
you an example. I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
This might help you.
Okay.
Okay, for me, I've stopped telling myself that there's a ceiling to what I can do, my abilities.
I see. I see your point. Okay.
Because when you get older, you start to believe the expectations or the boxes people put you in. And the
Mhm.
truth is, the only value you have is the value you believe you have,
Right.
right? And I can see all the potential in the world in you. But if
Right.
you don't see it, it's not going to
Yeah.
mean anything.
I agree. Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, so we're going to,
I would. Yeah. Okay. I would probably, if I was to tell him, I would say that. I would say just don't give up because I quite easily give up sometimes.
okay. And now let's break it down a bit more. Let's go a little deeper
Okay.
if you're okay. Why do you think you give up?
Sometimes maybe just a bit. Sometimes confidence.
Right. Okay, but that's just a story. It's all a story. We're in the
Yes.
matrix, you and I really want you to listen to this because this might help other people too. It's just a game. We're just playing a game. And this is what people forget is that when you play a video game, right? And let's say you do really poorly at the video game, you don't hammer yourself. You usually get a little pissed off and you try
Yeah.
again and you try again and you
Mhm.
try again, but nobody's watching. So it's your own personal struggle, or
Yes.
right, or delight, whatever, it's all in the way that you reframe it. So I want you right now to reframe what you're thinking and say to yourself, I have the potential to do anything because I am divine perfection. Can you say that with me?
I have the potential to do everything because I'm divine perfection. There we go.
And you are. And
I do my best. I do. I all I do
no,
is
no,
make.
no, 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 no.
Do I can? I know.
No,
I know.
you're putting a
What
ceiling on it. You're putting a
yeah,
ceiling on it.
good point. I see. I mean, yeah,
Reframe it.
I am divine perfection. There we go. I
Yes.
could.
And I
Yeah.
I have been created in the hands of God, and God does not make junk.
Yes, I can do all things through Him.
And yeah, and here's the wonderful thing about this is I actually see that. So, and no one should ever be limited by my little brain. Like if I don't see it, it doesn't mean it isn't there. I think
Mhm.
all of us have sparks of greatness in us. Every single person has sparks of greatness. The person that's watching this on the rebroadcast later, I want you to know that you have the ability to do whatever you want within reason. I'm not going to say to you, Fraser, we should try out for some NBA team, because I know I can dunk if I think, and I
Yeah,
can keep up with these guys and within limitations.
yeah,
But I believe that everybody has their own innate, unique signature. And the problem is we all try to be somebody else. You know why we do that? Because we come from some form of lack. Everybody at some time in their life has self-doubt.
yep. Very true. Very true.
Everyone, the greatest athletes, the
Mhm.
multimillionaires, the billionaires. Um, it's funny because for the first time in my life in the last 5 years, I've been around people who are very wealthy, very educated, and they're not necessarily always the happiest people because
Mhm.
they tend to be hard on themselves. They're driven, right? And you have to remember that you're an average of the 5 people you hang around most. So you have to be very selective of the people you let within your inner circle. I'm not saying don't be compassionate.
Yeah, I completely understand. Yeah.
So reframe that. Let's do this again. Okay. So imagine I had the ability right now to let you let go of all that luggage, all that doubt, all that self-loathing at times. And today is a new day. 2021 is a brand new chapter. The gods are going to unfold and give you favor with the universe. And every single guardian angel is going to lift you up and show you the way. But you just have to listen and believe. Could you do that? If you knew for certainty, like that light there we're seeing on the screen, that light right there is drawing you. And so, do you see
I
that right there? You see where the earth
I
is
will
is
rise. I will.
separating? You see
Yes.
the earth is separating there? We
Yes.
are
I will.
cutting away the old you and having a rebirth of the new you.
There we go. Sorted. Brilliant. I will do that. All good. Sorry. That's good.
He's
I'm
gone. Please let me go. Please,
uh, man,
breathe.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I love
I
it.
meant
What you
that.
said.
I meant
No,
that.
no,
And
a lot of what you
humor.
said. Yeah, no, a lot of what you said is good. It's all good. Yeah, I completely understand. I agree. It's all good. Yeah, I think it's just it's not putting the ceiling on and trying to doing what reaching
I'm
past
going to
that.
answer a question. I'm going to answer a question from someone. I can't tell
Okay.
who it is because they told me not to. But they said, I'm forever questioning what I do. I am forever doubting. So I am to the point now where I'm frozen all the time. I can't make a decision.
Right.
How do I get calm? Because you seem calm to me, Michael. Like you seem like you're centered and happy, and there's almost like this spontaneous joy. So I'm going to read something to her. When I tuned into it, this is what I got. Okay, I'm just going to read this little thing here. It says, "Just be still and listen for the moments of silence that awaken your greatest potential." And it's in stillness, in that self-knowing within ourselves, like with our heart chakra, right? That we know that we are divine, and we are divine creations. We are divine perfection, and we are here to only be ourselves, and we are enough exactly the way we are, because we were made in God's light. And even though we doubt ourselves, there are people that have within my inner circle that have abilities that I will never have. And I say to them all the time, and I'll say, if I had the skill sets you have, I would never doubt myself, not even for a moment, not even for a nanosecond. But I think we just, no matter what level we're at, and that's what COVID has been great for, is we've realized that we had so much before and we've lost those freedoms. And we're all yearning for our old life and the freedoms we had before. But we've had time now to stew and stir in our self-doubt and self-loathing. And it's a time, it was almost like a hard reset.
Mm-hmm.
We were forced. Or if you were a computer, we got defragged, right?
Yes, exactly.
And
I'm going to have to I cut you short because I need to go to the toilet and I need to go and do some work. I don't mean
okay,
to.
so here's what happens. Sometimes,
I'm staying here dancing around in my chair and thinking, I need to go to the toilet and I'm kind of listening.
sometimes when we do healing work, there's a form of release after. So, my friend, may you fully release.
I just want to say thank you, Michael. It's great getting chatting to you. It's great just collaborating, and I want to appreciate. Please support Michael in what he does, and obviously, he's going to be doing some business stuff down the road, business broadcasts. So please support him in what he does. Great guy, very very funny, and very kind, and just wants to help people like myself and Randy and other people. We just want to help people, and that is it, which is great. So thank you, and it's great
Thank
to.
you. Thank you for sharing your soul signature today with the world. I appreciate it.
Now, everybody, look after yourself. Have a great Sunday, wherever you're up to. Have a great day, Michael, whatever you're up to. And as I say, just be blessed and just take it easy and let's just reach for the top together. Okay.
You would swear we rehearsed that. That was beautiful, man. See, you're in the flow. You know that you're divine perfection now. Do you see that? Okay, just go. I knew you got to release.
Okay.
I don't want you to self-combust. Don't do that.
It could be an accident. Okay, take it easy. Bye.
Okay, bye, buddy. Universal truth. I just put you on the guest list here. If you would love to come up, that would be great. Yeah. I really enjoyed our conversation last time. It was wonderful. But we were talking about earlier, and I'm going to talk about this again. We're going to circle. We're going to go around one more time if that's okay. But we all hold sparks of greatness within us. And just choose to be the best version of yourself this week. And focus on the things that you can do and not the things you can't do in this moment in time. And know that you are every day directed and protected by your guardian angels that give you subtle clues. And it's not like a big sign and you're not going to get, the red carpet. You have to know where you're headed. Okay, we've got universal truth. We have some forms of light in a corner. She's coming from the Palladian star system. She's beaming aboard. The light is coming in. The light. So if you want, I can just have where we can hear you. Or I can show this very bizarre light fragment thing in the back, which I think will only scare people.
It's what do you call it? It's an atomizer.
Okay.
So it goes on and off and on and off. But yeah, I thought I could go black, but it doesn't show me.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll just do it this way. I'll pretend you're the sunlight there on the screen.
Okay.
She's the sun, and there she is. She's the cool dog right now. I'm too cool to show you.
How are you doing?
Um, I've I was really sad last week. I won't lie. After I saw what happened, and that was crazy. Like that shouldn't have happened. Or
Sit on the mount and observe.
well, I was observing, but I didn't like what I was seeing. Right? What did you think? Enough of because I'm not going to say anything nice about it. So if you have some pearls of wisdom
I don't
toward
have
that,
anything to say about it because it is what it is. Like, if you stand back in the macro and look at it, it's like it was going to go that way anyway. Maybe it doesn't look like what people thought it was going to look like, but it didn't get there by itself. That's
no, that's
kind of what
true.
I'm going to say
But
about it. Like, it
that's a
didn't
good
get there
point.
by itself.
So was that brought upon because of all the fear in the world,
Um,
or
I personally feel it's all by design.
can you go
There's a lot
deeper?
of interest.
Okay, you got to remember.
Well, I was about to kind of enter a little bit of it. Like, from where I stand personally,
Yeah,
there are a lot of powers that work in the universe.
yeah. And
And
if you
things
can be
that
a
are
little louder,
coil.
if you
And
can
they
be
deliberate. Oh, okay. Maybe I've
just,
got my
just a
speaker
lot,
down.
just let
That
that
louder?
beautiful soul, that soul essence come out in you. Like Frasier, we're all divine perfection. And Fraser probably feels much more relieved right now than he was
Right?
stewing
Right?
I I think I went a little too intense there. Yeah.
That was funny, though. It was funny.
Was it?
I
Okay.
like his energy. He's got
What?
very sweet energy.
Oh, he's so kind. He's such a sweet, sweet man, right?
And I find most Scottish people are.
Really?
Underneath that crusty Scottish exterior, they're some of the most lovely people in the world. Like, they're just lovely people. But then again, I was married to a Scotsman, so of course I'm going to say that.
Oh, were
But I
you?
find them generally, as a culture, very lovely people. They're not for everybody, but that's okay. But going back to what you had asked me about, there are powers at work that have been at work forever and a day, and they control what's going on. And if people could stop being, for me personally, stop being so concentrated on the micro and start looking in a larger way. And what ails this planet is a lack of love and a lack of consideration for your fellow human being. And the powers that be jumped right in there and exploited it. And now you've got capitalism and consumerism. And you guys all willingly walked right into it. So all I can do is just stand and go, okay, let's see how this plays out. So I'm not emotionally attached to it, and I think that's, for me, I would suggest to people try not to get emotionally attached to it.
Hmm. Easier said than done, though, right? Would you agree with that? Easier said than done. Like you've got to remember. Oh, I think we lost her. I think she popped out. It's okay. That's going to happen. I'm finding today that there's all kinds of glitchy stuff going on, and I never have problems with this. So they must be doing adjustments, and they're probably doing it right now because the average person isn't on, right? So they're just going to do what they can do. There's a couple things that I want to talk about. I always write notes, but I never get to them, like ever. Okay, here we go. This is another question that I reformulated. This was a nice lady who I talked to the other day, and she asked me this question, and I never really answered it. So, what is it going to take before you listen to your body? What is it going to take before you listen to your body? And for me, it took me getting really sick. I don't know if I had COVID, but I felt like I had COVID. I had all the symptoms. And at one point in it, it felt like I felt what it felt like before you die, or that surrendering to dying. And I almost felt like something greater than myself wanted me to surrender. And I am now doing something about my health finally, which is only helping my gifts, the vibration. I also feel like it's going to take us going through more chaos this year, I think, for the average person to understand. This is life force, by the way, right here. This helps me. I'm just going to have a little drink. I hope. Cheers to everybody. Hope you have a great day today. It's Sunday. My dad rocks. Hi, Laura. How you doing? Now, Laura, you know you can come up, but you don't have to be on the camera. You can just talk, and I would love for you to come up for a second in the talking mode, and I won't let them see you because I know you're about, I must be camera ready. I get it. All right. We lost Universal Truth. I don't know if that was from her wanting to do it, but and Fraser, thank you. I feel like I went too far with Fraser, but he'll be okay. My intention was good. Another question I had: what is it going to take for you to have an open heart to loving yourself completely and fully as you are? And for every person, that is different. But for me, I really stopped hammering myself repeatedly over and over and over again. And just, got okay with what is. And every step that I take, I know that I'm learning life lessons. And even the painful things that were placed upon my path in the past, they mean something. They were laid there to help me to realize my full potential. It's all part of the awakening. Yeah, I get the camera ready. Laura, you don't have to be on camera. We can just talk. I won't put you on camera, I promise. You can be the sun right there. And if you don't want to be the sun, I can pretend that you are. Let's have a look here. That this is you. Cool. Got your sunglasses on. Your love of your life, Phoebe, right now is sleeping, thank God. She woke up around 5:30. She was crazy. She was attacking poor Zoe again. No, I see your comments. I wish we could have the full essence of you back. Here, let's put this here. There we go. We'll put that up there. All right, and we'll put that one up as well. So for many people, I don't know if you know this, but soon, just around the corner, Periscope will be done. And it's going to happen like that. And for those who got on Happs early, you're going to benefit hugely by doing that and making that decision. How odd. Okay. Was it your end? I don't think so. I don't think so. Do you want to try to come back up? Just try again. Do I need to re-invite you? Like uninvite you and re-invite you? We could try that. Hello, Helen. Good morning. How are you? Helen. Did you sleep at all? Did you get a few hours sleep? I hope you did. Helen, it's 11:30 there, is it? Is it almost 12? I would love for you to come up, but I know it's hard for you. So here. I don't know if I sent you an invite. I'll do that. So that way you have that choice. Let me put you in here. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right.
I know what it is. Okay.
You're back. I thought I was hearing ghosts. I heard forms of breath. I was like, I did. I swear to you, I was like, is that a ghost? I've been freaked out so bad on here because I'm talking away and I'm channeling, and then I hear, I'm like, what
Do you
is
know
that?
what it was? It was my Grogu. One of my friends bought me a baby Yoda for Christmas.
Yes.
And so when you rub its head, that's what it does.
Yes.
It does this breathy thing, and then it makes a little Grogu noise, and then if you rub its head again, it makes the little baby noise.
Yes.
I've always loved Yoda, so I'm stoked to have a baby Yoda.
Helen wants you to say hello to her. Helen Wallace.
Hi, Helen.
She's I think right now just trying to figure out who that voice is. Name that voice. So if you want to tell everybody, she's not camera ready. Her producers called me today and said, no.
Oh, Helen's or mine?
Yours. And Helen's like me. She doesn't care. I think she would just comb her hair and away she goes, or not.
Yeah, but Helen looks good all the time. Like, even when she feels like she looks scruffy, she still looks good.
Well, she's beautiful.
You know what I mean? She doesn't think that, but I do.
She's beautiful inside and out. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, but Helen, you're smart because you have like a classic haircut and glasses, and you have a good face. So, like, no matter if you're all dolled up or not, you always look good. In my view, anyway.
That was a strange compliment, but it was good.
Yeah.
If a man said that, he would be dead. And any gentleman who watches this replay, do not use that as a compliment. It won't go well.
What's that?
The compliment you gave. See, a woman can do that. A woman can say exactly what they feel. You have to enter with grace. Yeah.
Oh, I think Helen's beautiful, personally.
Oh, she is. It's the way you formed it there or something. Oh. Yeah.
Helen got it. I think Helen got it.
Yeah.
What I was trying to say before we got so abruptly.
You're louder now. What happened? Did you?
Because I'm holding the phone right. It's 444 here right now.
Oh, the power of 444.
Me, Michael. It was meant to be.
444.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any weird stuff with 444? I have.
Oh, I see numbers all the time. What do you see? Okay, here's my thing. See, I think of weird in a wholly different way. Weird is beautiful. I like anything outside static quo or the status. Like, I like anything like that. To me, it's not weird. It's like, it sort of shows to me how humans are so, how they limit their minds. Not you, Michael. I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying, what's weird in this day and age? Like, seriously, what's really weird? What's weird? If you're talking about human behavior is weird.
But it's
human behavior.
I think we have to be careful, though. You should never call someone weird or a group weird, because they could be hurt or hurt. It could resonate in them in a bad way.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's a context, though, Michael. I'm putting it into context.
Well, it's funny you say that, because
not being used as a derogatory comment,
No, and let me back up what you're doing. I'm not saying it's negative. Just hear me out. So there's a guy named Chrome, and I think he calls his dog Disco, but he's on YouTube, and he lives in a van. He's doing quite well now. But when I first saw him, he had no job. He had a van. He sold all of his stuff, and he's making a living now. He's really good at what he does, and he has a huge audience. I think he's got 500,000 people on YouTube, which is unheard of for that format, right? It's not an easy one to crack, but he has bumper stickers. Hello to all my weirdos. And that's something like that. My beautiful weirdos, or hello to my weirdos. But Helen called me a weirdo in one of the broadcast, and I almost fell off my chair. I did a couple of years of therapy. Helen, I'll be fine. Don't you worry. I'm gonna have some healing
If
juice,
I call
Helen.
someone a weirdo, it's a compliment. It means you're one of my people, my kind. Because the weird
No,
ones are
we
bringing the
talked about
magic
this
to the
yesterday.
world.
We talked about
It
this
does
yesterday.
not call
Yeah,
you a weirdo. She
and
denies calling you a weirdo.
no, she didn't call me weirdo. She called some of the people in the broadcast. What is that art form called that we were doing yesterday? We called it sipping tea. What was it called again? They do it on Twitch. It's where they do all the whispering and they do all
Oh,
these
ASMR.
they do all this very strange
I
sucking
watch that.
sounds.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
ASMR.
so Randy said, Michael, I have a great idea for you for a channel. Oh my God, I see a little shit disturber sometimes. So I had no idea. I looked it up and I went, what the hell is this? And I laughed so hard because I thought it was like some channeling spiritual thing, that I was like, oh yeah, I'm open. And then I watched it and went, I'm not open.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those girls.
No, I said people who tell me I should do SMR weirdos. No one in the broadcast. I was one of those people that said you should do SMR, Helen, and I am a weirdo and I wear that proudly. So thank you.
Yeah, she
Like
would
when you
do
got
well.
that voice on, Helen. Like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, you could do SMR. You could, yeah. I think you'd be very good at it.
You know what's scary? Some of that equipment is worth thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
People make serious investments in the equipment to do SMR, and
yeah.
they're very successful on YouTube.
Yo, Jennifer, thank you for subscribing. And I hope this conversation isn't making people run for the hills. But you never know here. I have learned to go with the flow.
Yeah.
I always find
So
the
how are you
entertainment.
feeling about things today, Michael?
What type of things? Let's break it down.
Well, just universally, like how are you feeling about the energy of like today, not the last week, but today?
It's heavy. It's heavy, and
Really?
another wave is coming of crazy. I feel. I had the most wonderful, joyous week last week. I had so much love and unconditional love poured towards me. I had a couple weird blips. I had someone yesterday in one of the broadcasts start saying I did all these things and I hurt somebody's feelings, and and I was like, well. I might have been off that day, and I'm sorry if I hurt their feelings. And I left to be, and they kept going on and on and on. And then
Oh
about
dear.
30 minutes later, they went, I am so sorry you're not that person. I confused you with someone else. And I think so. What happens is sometimes people, no, but I think, you know what happened? I think he saw a soul signature or a vibrational match. So maybe I
Okay.
talk the same as that guy, or I look like him, or maybe a level of confidence or something, and
Okay.
assumed it was me. I remember. I'll tell you. This is a really funny story. So there was a guy named Michael as well, and this was in London, Ontario. And back then, I used to have a business. I had a couple of businesses that were retail, and I had this person in a flea market. I used to have a booth in a flea market called the Gibraltar, and this person just tore a strip off me. Like went crazy. This woman, you came and you took me out, you got what you wanted and you left, and I hope you're happy with yourself.
Oh dear.
And I went, I know who you're talking about, and I just want you to take a breath. I'm about 3 inches shorter than him. Look at me. And she looked at herself and she went, oh my God, you're exactly the same. She says, you're just nicer. I said, yeah, thank you. And then she went on her way. But I let her spill because I felt like she needed to. And everybody who was at the booth, and there was about, I don't know, 20 people at the booth, loved it. It was like watching Jerry Springer
Uh-huh.
at the booth. And they're like, give it to him. Yeah. He's pond scum. He never gives me a deal on anything. So yes.
Don't you just love people?
So yesterday that happened again. And I was just like, it'll work itself out. Because if I deny it, so I just embraced it, right? I said, or I thought, this is my karma. Because I was not a nice person for many years. From the time I was, I would say, 15 to, oh God, 30. I was hell on wheels. We could do a movie. The only people who would believe the movie were the ones that were there. And many of the people that knew me back then desperately want Party Mike to come back. And they're like, who the hell is this? And who dropped you on your head?
Well, is it karma, or is it you grew up and you matured and you become enlightened?
I got to a point where I thought if I had this kind of house and I had this kind of, lifestyle, and if I could be seen in a certain light and acquire certain things, then I'd be happy. And I did that. I got to a point where I think most people would be, like, oh, that's a good life, right? And I was miserable. And I felt like I had sold my soul to the devil for nothing. So then I was like, okay, I either exit or I change. And then and that was maybe 35, and I'm 57. And I feel like I'm the slowest learner in the world because I've only really been to this level, I would say, in the last 2 years, where I'm just so okay with life and whatever comes in. I've surrendered to the now, whatever now brings. Because before, oh my God, if someone said stuff like that, I would have been horrified and I would have been reactive, and I wouldn't have been, this person's just confused. I would have been, how dare they do this, and why does this happen? So if you reframe things, right?
Yeah.
And I think people
change your mind. I was just having this conversation with another friend earlier, and we were talking about the beauty of being human is you can change your mind. Any day, any minute, you can change your mind. And I think humans are so limited. They limit themselves. If you're not in the right sort of environment, or you can be in the wrong environment and still have a good mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It's something, a very personal, spiritual thing. But then there are those that need support to manifest that consecutively or consistently. You know what I mean?
Can you say something with me? Because my guys keep saying you need to say it with me. Will you say it with me?
Oh God. Oh God.
Okay.
All right, Michael.
Okay, we're not doing that channel where you do the slurping. Okay, don't worry. Okay. The openness to love. Just say that with me. The openness to love.
The openness to love.
I am open. I am whole. Say that. I am open.
I'm open to. Okay, I'm open.
I am whole. I am complete. And I am perfect.
And I am perfect.
And you are.
I consider myself imperfectly perfect.
We're all divine perfection. We are. We're at different levels on this path. And I know that when I take my last breath, I'll still be trying to go to another level and try to learn. And I have such a thirst for learning. And I love being around people who test my boundaries and make me want to grow. Even as I say that, I can feel my heart open, because that's the truth, right? That is, for me, the golden rule, always being in pursuit of excellence. And excellence is different to everyone. So when I tune into you, and I think when you tune into me, we feel the pain that we've been through. Like you and I have been down some of the same roads. We know what it's like to suffer.
And then I learned that I can choose not to suffer. So I chose not to suffer.
But the thing is, too, if you want to suffer in the moment, fully suffer and then release it. What I used to do when I was bored is I would pull out these agonizing old memories, which were like broken records, and play them over and over again till I tear up and cry and do the wrong kind of mantras. And then the universe would give me more of that, because that's all I was doing. I was focusing on the darkness within me, or I was wrong. And how dare they do that to me? And why does this keep happening? And I didn't realize that the power of frequency, and what you think about, you get more of.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in that?
Oh yeah, I totally believe in that. I think I'll clarify what I meant was don't live in your suffering. Your suffering isn't your life. Your suffering was a moment. Whatever that was that created that suffering, that was a moment. You can move forward from that moment, whatever, and however we want to do it. For some people it's talking, for some people it's going and working out, whatever that might be. But we have the opportunity, because we're human, to change our minds about continuing suffering.
Yeah, but you know what? For me this year, and the people I love, I constantly tell them this, and I even told Fraser this, that you need to stop putting a glass ceiling on your potential, and
Yeah.
don't let lost toxic souls dictate what is best for you.
Uh-huh.
And be out there. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to stub your toe. You're going to have people call you weirdos. Some are going to say it's a great thing. Some are not.
Mm-hmm.
Some are going to try to talk you into slurping tea. Life is weird.
Life is. We were talking about this earlier, and you said, how did I feel about what's been transpiring?
Mm-hmm.
And I said to you, I just observe it. None of it surprises me. We're dealing with human beings and who have been sorely manipulated. And people waking up isn't going to be pretty. And I just choose not to emotionally attach myself to it.
Can we break
I'm
that
just
down? Because people need to hear that. Okay. So you said awakening is not going to be pretty. Because there is an awakening going on, and many people are thinking when you awaken, it's all
lightness
roses.
and being, yeah,
Yes. And wings come from your back,
yeah.
right? And nothing ever
That's so
happens.
true, though, Michael.
Yeah. And the wings, they pop out, and it's not even painful as they shoot out your back, right?
They never watched Lucifer then. Lucifer's a program. It's a series on Netflix.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I love
I
it.
love it too. I love
It's
it.
humorous, but anybody who's really light
It's
also
deep.
has really
It's
dark.
deep. Yeah. Of course.
Would you agree with that?
Oh
That's
yeah.
the yin and the yang.
Yep.
So
Oh yeah.
we've got Helen. She's got two little symbols here. She's got tea and coffee. So we're going to put that up here. I don't know what that quite means. Helen, what does that mean, tea and coffee?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Do you mean that I'm coffee and you're tea and you're better than me?
I love both. I love both coffee and tea.
I bet you would. See, you're living the full experience. You're not limiting
Except Helen and
yourself.
I share a hearty distaste for people who do not know how to make a true cup of tea.
Yes. I want to share. My guys are telling me to share this story. So there was this woman that I used to work with at the Gibraltar, and she was a character, and she was married. She was married to a nice man who was quiet. And then this lady came in and kind of fresh French kissed her right at the booth, and I went, "Huh?" And I went, "What's going on there?" And she said, "Michael, why would I ever limit myself to one dessert on a plate? Life is to be fully experienced. You're so narrow-minded and judgmental."
Ooh.
Ooh. And you know what? She was right. Not my thing, but I shouldn't have judged it. I was kind of horrified for him, but strangely,
Why?
I think he was
Why?
digging it. I think he was digging it more than he wasn't. So that was even more weird for me.
Were you projecting how you'd feel if somebody did that to you?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I still have issues with that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't what a hussy. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I didn't say. I said it in kind of a hard way. What I meant is if you. This is why I say I observe a lot of behaviors, and I make my mind up really quickly, and some people have a hard time with this because Carolyn, this. I'm like, listen to me. I know me, and I know I'm right. And it doesn't matter to me if you think I'm right or wrong. That's not a thing for me. Like, can you just respect my place in this, right? And then there's others that don't trust their own judgment because of expectation externally. Well, you have to be nice and you have to be this. Part of the problem is we've been too fucking nice. You see, you can damage people just as much by being too nice as you can by being not nice enough. You got to know the moment, and just like everything, like I was talking to my girlfriend about this, and she's like, not girlfriend, a friend who's a girl, and she's talking
I
about
like how you quickly reframed that.
Why you gotta watch it, man? You gotta watch it. People assume.
They
Right?
assume anyways. Let them assume. Let's give them something to talk about. I think there's a song like that.
Well, it's not going to be if it's about me, it's about the fact that I'm a seer, and I am the way I am because I want people to be the best that they can possibly be.
Yes.
But I'm not attached to them being the best that they can be. All I can do is be who I am, put out my integral information, and they can do with that what they will.
Right.
I've been given this gift for a reason. It is not my mandate to shut up. That's not my mandate. That might be somebody else's mandate for me to shut up. It's like, well, if you don't like what I'm saying, that's cool. You don't have to listen.
That's true. I want to address something here, though.
About me.
Yeah.
What's that, honey?
I want to address something. Who is the hussy, Helen?
You.
I'm a hussy?
No. Are you referring to the woman or?
Yeah, come on. Let's break this down here, Helen.
She's being facetious, I think.
I don't know. She should come up and explain herself. That's what
Get up here, Helen.
Helen, even if it's your voice, your golden voice. I think the funniest thing she ever said that triggered me is she went, I tossed him.
Helen and I are very fortunate in that we have voices that people listen to. They don't really need to see our faces. We just have those kind of voices.
Oh, I think it would be sad if Helen didn't come on, like in the sense of seeing her, because she's so animated, right? When she gets there and she's doing all the faces, and she's even sometimes putting her eyes cross-eyed, and and she's just so in her element when she's on there, and she's totally entertaining herself. It's like she reminds me of
my best days. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, we have her here. She's coming. There she goes.
Some of my best moments with Helen are her rants, and I just listen to her, and I'm like, "You go."
Hi. So, do you want to be on air, or do you want to just be heard? Which one do you want?
Just be heard because I'm still lying in my bed.
Okay. So, do you have any anecdotes of joy while you're lying in your bed?
No, but I wanted to clarify. You keep putting words in my mouth. I never said anything about tossing anybody.
You did. You did. You said tossed him.
I didn't. I said I didn't give a toss.
Like, oh, give a toss. Oh, you must see my mind's going somewhere else too.
Exactly. You kinky.
Because what?
You notice a thread here, Helen? There seems to be a thread here.
You keep saying that I say things that I haven't said. And I'm just
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So can I share something? So when I was little, really little, everybody's private part was called a toss. My grandmother used to call it a toss. And I was like, what? So when you said that, it triggered that.
Yeah, because it sounds like tossing someone off. Or, as you said, I tossed him. But that's not what I said. What I said was I didn't give a toss.
So have you ever tossed someone off and just said, look, I'm done. I've had enough. You've done your duty. You need to go. Thank you. I'll call you if I need you. Goodbye. No, none of yeah.
It's
thank you.
That was like, see ya. Thank you very much. See ya.
Thank you. Take a cookie and my card on the way out. Have a good day.
No freaking cookie and no card. Just see ya.
Can I take a shower? No, none of that. Goodbye. Thank you. We wish you well.
Pretty much.
Yeah, sorry. I have another client later. I'll talk to you later. Bye. There we go.
Another client.
The client.
Client. There you go, smutting it up. Like a woman doesn't have the right to get laid and say, "Okay, that was great, thanks, see ya."
Oh, I loved
Come
how you
on,
said that. I
Michael.
love how you said that. That was beautiful. It was like slamming a book down. Boom.
Yep. Go,
Yeah.
go, you
Kinda.
go, girl.
Boom. Yeah. I you know what? We could have that on the endless loop tape there, eh? That phrase you just said. Woman has a right to get boom. And a woman's
Yeah.
got a right to get boom. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
What is better though, tossed or laid?
Mhm.
Really? If you like tossed, put 1. If you like laid, put 2. There you go in the comments later. Thank you. What do you think is more appropriate? And do you think that the universal truth has
tossed
gone
would
too
give
far?
me-
Do you think the universal truth has gone too far? Because I know you think I've gone too far. If you think I've gone too far, put a number 4 in there for the beauty of this moment.
I don't know. Tossed just gives me like really uncomfortable visions of being tossed.
Okay.
So I would
Well,
go with laid.
let's go deeper. Let's talk about the visions.
Go deeper.
Let's go deeper.
Right, Helen?
Heavenly Dew, how are you? Heavenly Dew's got
Oh my goodness.
she's got 2 eyes that are there. Like she's shocked with.
What the hell did I walk into?
She's like, what? Yeah. Oh my God. See, can you see that? Just the eyes.
I don't blame her.
Michael Sunday sex talk. That's what you
What?
walked into.
Alright.
So okay, so can we address the rage though a little bit there? Do you think it's unfair for the paradigm that men have? Like, here's one of the things I want to address, and I'm being serious here, is that if a man gets older and he has wrinkles and he's a
I
little
mean, when he gets older and gets wrinkles.
Yep.
no rage there in the cage.
Sorry,
So
Michael.
let's assume that this man doesn't have a beauty regimen and he has wrinkles. Okay.
Okay.
And he has the accordion neck, which I'm getting since I've been losing the weight. It's called distinguished. But if the same thing happens with a woman, we don't call it that. There's no
Nope.
distinguished there. And I think that's where we're jumping into old belief systems, right? And
Although I would slightly disagree with you, Michael. I think
jump in there
the
without
worth
rage.
of older women is much higher than it used to be. Like older women are, very much in social media. They're in a lot of print, fashion print.
Mhm.
Older women are gaining much more respect, I feel,
Yay.
in society.
good.
But
I don't know,
then
we still have this strange notion that a man gets, more desirable like a fine wine. He matures,
Mhm.
and a woman is past her best. We still have that mentality. We also have, coming away from the aesthetic, and it's happened to myself. If a woman is assertive, she's not a man would be assertive where a woman would be classed as aggressive for the same
Yep.
behavior. And the use of language is really important. If someone's confident, if a woman's confident, she's overconfident. How can you be
Yep.
overconfident? You're either confident or you're not. You would never say to about a man's overly confident. But you hear it about women all the time. And it's been said to myself as well.
Really?
Yes.
I find that shocking. Some people find your effervescent loveliness a little too much. I think you and I are very much alike, but I think they tolerate it more in me. I know what you're saying. I get it. Like the stuff I do, if I was a female, would probably not go over very well. You're right, and that's wrong.
Yeah, it's the double standard. Yep.
Yes. Are we coughing up pain from the past? There is there a release there? Let it out.
Oh no, I just took a toke off my joint,
Let it out. Oh, okay.
which
There we
caused
go.
me to cough. So.
Let it out.
But I agree with Helen. And I mean, I grew up with a misogynist father, Irish father. And
Mhm.
I'm saying that for a reason. And I was the bane of my father's life. Like if I'd been a boy, he would have had no problems with me.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Finally, he and I sat down and had a conversation one day because he kept saying, my mom would always go, shh, shh. And I'm like, fuck, shut up. You shush. Don't tell me to shush.
Mm-hmm.
Your girly act works for you. I am the way I am. I am a consequence of both of you. So I am the way I am for a reason. And I've always held that, even when I was younger, which caused a lot of conflict from insecure people or ages to like, well, you're only 16. How do you know what you know? I don't know. I just know what I know. And I immediately leave that energy. I do not hang out with people that, for whatever reason, need to denigrate me, like, because I'm not behaving like they think I should behave,
Yep.
or I speak on things that they don't think I should speak on, or like, bye.
Yep.
You don't have to be here and you don't have to listen to me. And for sure, do not tell me how to be.
But nobody
I
has.
like me.
Can
I like me.
Yeah, I want to address something. And I know it's a little off topic. But last week, and it's happening again every day. I have people telling me
Really?
not to follow certain people over and over again, and it happened again today. Different people, and I'm like, you have no right to tell me who I can follow or not follow, and then they're threatening me and going, I'll make sure that everyone I know will not follow you, and you will no longer be in a good light. And I'm like, I'm okay with that.
Wow.
And
Really?
you know what? And I will
Look.
slam you, and you will do what like. It was like submit or go away,
Wow.
right? And I'm like, no, until someone does something to me directly, and even then, I would probably be very forgiving, knowing myself, because we all have shitty days, right? We don't always shine our best light. Some of us get things like toss mixed up. Some of us have a little bit of slam the book down laid things going on, and you just say,
Exactly.
even though you have heart palpitations after it and you're a little afraid and you maybe peed a bit in your drawers, you move on. And then
That's
and
real
then
talk, though, Michael. That's real talk.
I think
it
that's
is,
not-
and then you get uncomfortable with the smell, right? But you think, no, fight on, and it's warm in here and the heater's going, and you're like, what is that?
I want to just reply to Heavenly Dew. She said, I've just unfollowed someone, and I think that's okay. You can follow or unfollow whoever you want, but I think other people dictating to you who you should block or who you should, it's like it's like playground behavior, oh, you're not part of my gang. I don't talk to that person if you talk to that person.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. Grow up. What are you, 12?
But that's control. Yeah. That's so grade 8.
Absolutely.
That's grade 8
so
stuff.
Disrespectful. Like, for me, that is extremely disrespectful to you, Michael.
Yep, agreed.
Well, we talked
you don't
about
have
this.
the intelligence and the wisdom to make a discernment for yourself as to who you'd like to share energy with. Like, how disrespectful of that individual.
But see,
that that's not okay.
The thing I do like about it, and I said this last night, people are now in their sandbox, which is called Happs, and now they're starting to make rules like they own it, right? And
like Periscope,
right? Like Periscope. So we are going to start having some of the smelly behaviors that we had at the other, and that's why, as a community, be it small or large, we have to look out for each other. And I'm sorry, this is always going to be open to everyone. And if people get crazy and belligerent, we'll just block the comments. But what I love is you don't see the things I see in the rebroadcast. I think it would be more entertaining. But, I've had some very strange questions, and I'm like, oh, okay, thank God. But on Periscope, you'd see all of that.
Right.
So please keep it that way. I love that. And you know what? If I want to highlight a comment, if someone wants to talk about tea and talk about coffee, I can highlight that. If they want to talk about getting laid or, tossing things, I can highlight that, and we can share that beautiful moment together over and over again on the rebroadcast 3-4 years from now. But if someone's saying mean things to people and making them feel like they're pond scum. You know, but I've dealt with controlling people my whole life. I've used to date controlling people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and in some arenas, I enjoyed it. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's not cool though. It's not. I mean, I had kind of thought, or at least hoped, we'd left that shit behind. You know, with the demise of Periscope.
Right, Helen?
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, well, you know how much I used to broadcast over there, and then how
Yeah.
infrequently how I kind of almost
I
stopped.
know. I keep catching the replays, but I don't catch you live. I'm like,
Yeah.
but now I'm catching live, so I'm happy again.
Yeah, but there's just no, there's no. I slowed right down. I barely, and then when they announced that Periscope was closing, I'd even considered just not bothering moving anywhere. Just to stop
I'm
bloody
so
streaming
glad you did.
altogether.
I'm so glad you did. Yeah.
But
I feel
the
you.
reason the reason I like it here is because there's none of that sort of nastiness. But clearly there is. It's just underhand, and that's worse. If there's two-faceism or underhand, sly, don't talk to that person. That's worse. At least if you're going to
don't delete your Happs. Don't do
but
that.
Actually,
Henley,
Henley Jude made a great comment.
Don't blame Happs.
I don't do bullies disguised as friends.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring it back to you for a minute, Michael, and Helen will understand this.
Okay. You're suggesting I'm a bully. Okay, I got it. Okay, keep going.
I'm not.
Okay.
Okay.
We're getting serious now? Okay, I'll be good.
My sensibilities are acute.
Right.
They're unmerciful, and they're not personal.
Oh, I like that.
I recognize the energy that is correct for me and my well-being, whether it be on my level or above me. I will not step down beneath myself. I've been there, done that. I've graduated. I want to keep moving forward. So I will not allow that energy to permeate my level. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really sharp and short about it, because enough of this entertaining this crap. Sorry, I never put up with it with my foster kids. I don't put up with from people around me. I'm sure as hell not going to do it on social media.
So you foster? I used to do that.
I did foster. Yeah.
Yeah. So did I. High needs for a while. It was really.
Yeah, me too.
It was tough.
I loved it.
It was
tough, but
it was tough.
I'm a richer woman for it.
For me, I fell in love with most of them, and it was hard.
Yeah.
And then I knew they were going to go back to dangerous places. And I remember one of the hardest things I ever went through was the one that was probably the toughest on me. They were coming to get her to go back home, and she ran to the neighbors and hid in the bushes. And I found her, and I said, she goes, I can't go back. I'm so happy here. Don't make me go back. Just tell them that I ran away.
Yeah.
And I was just, oh God.
I know, Michael. I know.
And then I saw some that I supported like 2 years later, and one of them ran up to me and she goes, they told me that you lied and you didn't love me and you never did. And I said to her, I said, I'll always love you, honey. I said, always. I said, I really enjoyed our time together, and don't ever think, don't let them cloud what we had. It was great, and it was great. So I hope you carry that when you're a mom. And she is a mom now. That was a long time ago. Yeah. So
we must have a conversation another day about that.
Yeah.
That was some of the richest. I learned so much from all of my kids.
Yeah.
They've made me a better person. I totally, I loved every minute of it. There were times, I'm not going to tell you it was all lightness and freaking, there were many times where I was pulling my hair out at 3:00 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm going to rip somebody's ass off, but I'm like, oh shit, I've got to go to work in the morning. But the kids take precedence above everything in my life. And my dad used to go like, why do you do this? See, my dad worried about me financially.
Right.
I didn't. I'm like, this will all work out, Dad. Don't worry about it, right? And
so
some of the greatest experiences in my life. Yeah.
There's a weird comment here, and a good one. I'm going to highlight it. So if you're on a mobile device, I find a lot of these programs glitch like crazy, and you can't watch them or they drop. I was on my iPad, and it kept crashing over and over again. So in the replay, it'll probably be near perfect. We'll have slight glitches,
Yes.
but they're having a real rough time with the mobile apps. So Jay Opera, I think I'm saying that right. He's saying that we're glitching and stuff. Yeah, this isn't Netflix. It's not the Netflix technology at all. So listen, I'm going to wind this up. I always like to wind it up. Yeah.
I'll come down so you wind this up while you.
No. I want you to. I want you to do a small anecdote of joy, for a minute or so. And is Helen gone? I think she's gone. She's been.
Leave?
Yeah, she heard I was going to leave. So what I'm finding and this is a little tip for everybody who does broadcasting on here. Once you get past an hour, it starts to really glitch up.
Oh,
yeah, and I've noticed that. And if you get into like 2-3 hours, it's a circus of looniness. And if you have multiple guests in, it has a really rough time. And I remember Google Hangouts was like that. If you had too many people, it couldn't do it. It just couldn't do it. So, anecdote of joy. Thank you, Helen, for being here. Thank you for Universal Truth being here. Thank you for the outpouring of love this week. What a glorious week on Happs for me. And I'm going to be on Monday to Friday for sure, 6:30 to 7:30. The weekends, I'll get on when I get on. But I promise to always have a morning show. I just don't know because the weekend's kind of a wild ride. But Monday to Friday, 6:30 to 7:30, I promise I'll be here. And if I'm not well, we'll get Helen in, and she'll talk about anecdotes of joy for at least 10 minutes. Right, Helen?
There you go. I love Helen. Like she's a spitfire. Her soul's in the right place, which is that's what I look for. Like, is your soul in the right place? And if it's not, that's not saying I'm not going to talk or whatever. After my life, and one day I'll share that with you, Michael. I've just learned to be acutely discerning about what works for me.
Yeah, you're not letting lower energy fields into your field.
I don't compromise my well-being emotionally and spiritually. I just don't.
Good. You deserve that.
Wrote the book, Yeah. And so what I do is I teach people how to do that for themselves.
So where is Branson? Does anybody know where Branson is in the world?
I know that Burt Reynolds, wasn't it Burt Reynolds that had a thing there in Branson?
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I always think of Charles Branson or Bronson.
Oh, I like him. Oh, I like him.
Oh, I like how you said that.
He's my idea of a real guy. Like, he was sensitive, but he was, he had it all going on.
Yeah,
and the
story sensitive strength, right? And quiet.
The story between him and Jill Ireland, his wife, was beautiful and sorrowful at the end because she died of cancer before he passed away. And he was so in love with her, and it was just a beautiful thing. And yeah, that was, but he had class and grace all the way after she passed.
Yeah.
And I just didn't expect any less from him, so it's kind of nice to know that there were people like that around.
My guides are saying
that was my antidote for joy. That's my antidote for joy, that people like Helen, yourself, people who are unafraid to be themselves and to learn and expand themselves. I get high off that.
I agree. So I'm going to end it with this. Heavenly Dew.
Missouri, you're right. Heavenly Dew. Yeah, Missouri, Branson, Missouri.
Yeah, my soul is anchored, and it is. And I even highlighted it in there. So everyone, I hope this is a safe port that you can come into. And you're always welcome here in the morning show. I haven't got a name for it yet. So I'm open to suggestions, and anybody who wants to be a guest on the show, you can always write to me at shoutmgb@gmail.com. Shoutmgb@gmail.com. Thank you for all the universal support, and may you have a glorious Sunday. Thank you. God bless you.
You too, Rico. Later.
Okay, we can still talk.